So today we'll be talking about who would win in a battle, SCP-682 or Kirby. SCP-682 and Kirby are basically polar opposites. Kirby is good, and SCP-682 is full of hatred as well. They both can basically copy anything. SCP-682 has his adapting thing where he adapts to anything someone throws at you, and Kirby can really just inhale something and copy that said ability. Okay, so yeah. SCP-682, of course, no character that's like in the human universe can defeat SCP-682. SCP-682 is immune to basically every trick in the book. Every trick in the book, basically any type of manipulation, SCP-682 is immune to it. But then, you have to realize Kirby's war. Okay, the War of Kirby. Okay, so if you're using the War of Kirby, sorry for pausing the video, but yeah, the War of Kirby basically states that basically if there's anything evil, Kirby is destined to beat it. But, which means that would be it. But we're actually gonna take this actually seriously. Yeah, I'm trying to lay down, that's what I'm doing. So yeah, we'll be seeing who would actually win in a battle as well. And yeah, so we'll just first talk about Kirby, because of course, Kirby, he's the star of the show. Oh, I don't want to get copyrighted. No, thank you. So if you have not been on this channel, Kirby's best feat is of course defeating Void Termina. Now, of course, this is in Kirby's Style Eyes where he's able to defeat Void Termina. Void Termina is basically the incarnation of evil and chaos and destruction. And Kirby was able to beat Void Termina. No, and yes, you're actually perfectly capable of being Void Termina without the Style Allies. So if you have zero Style Allies, you can still beat Void Termina with or without any Style Allies in the game. So if you have no Style Allies and Kirby Style Allies, you can still beat the Void Termina even without your Style Allies in the game. So Kirby is perfectly capable of being a creature, okay, which is Void Termina. Which is basically around universal or multiversal level, or as well as which of course Kirby doesn't need the Star Allies because he could beat because people were able to beat Void Termina without any Star Allies in the game, which means Kirby is perfectly capable of being as well, and of course Void Termina's demon and angel form, as well as the defeated core and final forms as well. Well, attacked to overpower Void Termina's energy beams several times. Kirby himself created projections with most of his friends to launch at Void Termina to see him off. Of course, they also defeat Corrupt Highness, who can basically defeat all the stronger incarnations of Void Termina shown as well. Well, in the battle against Void Termina. So basically, yeah, that's Kirby's best known feat in the games. He was able to defeat the strongest forms of Void Termina as well. He was able to beat Alphys as well. He's also able to beat Morphodite EX, which is basically as strong as Team Super Kirby. That didn't happen away, where become more powerful because of Demon Bar of his body, able to negate their ability with some copy abilities and base power. So yeah, Kirby as well and some of the things that Kirby could do, he has a lot of abilities. Of course, he has all of its power abilities. He can basically, he has a resistance to death manipulation. He has invisibility, intangibility, limited life absorption. He can, he has he has there's a whole list of his abilities, and we'll be going over all day if we cover every single little ability. But yeah, we'll go over some of his abilities. Yeah, okay. He has longevity, exercise perception, automatic translation as well. He can breathe underwater. he has 4 abilities. He has elasticity. He can stretch his body. He can turn himself to a lifeless ball. It decreases his body. He can regenerate himself. He has immortality types 2 and 3, non-physical interaction because he can turn into a ghost and Ghost Kirby. He can master vehicles. He can basically do most things. SCP-682 basically is the monster that is unkillable, but maybe all the SCP really need, SCP Foundation really need to do is get Kirby. Kirby is the solution to the problems, because SCP-682 and the current form that SCP-682 is in is at least implied to be multiversal, as it would take a force that is around the whole universe to beat him. Okay, it takes a universal form, it takes something as strong as the universe to destroy SCP-682. At least in its avatar form, because I don't think Kirby is able to beat its true form, its soul form when they're of course fighting against the Scarlet King and stuff. But yeah, SCP-682 is believed as perception of alien abstract concepts either alive or dead cannot be removed from existence without the entirety of the abstract self of the alien noosphere. Furthermore, has been described as a true self that will reside in an extra-dimensional location. What we're talking about really is the physical representation of SCP-682. The physical representation. Okay? And the thing is, Kirby is a universal force for good. Basically, Kirby in the war is described as Kirby, no matter what, is going to be anything that is evil. And SCP-682 is not exactly a good reptile. He constantly wants to kill humans. He constantly wants to kill everything. And Kirby fighting him would be no different than all the other things Kirby has fought against. Elfris, Magawar, Mox, and all these foes that Kirby had to fight against that were evil. And maybe Kirby will teach him the ways of friendship as well. Because, of course, SCP-999 was another SCP that's very similar to Kirby, and was able to make SCP-682 at least tame while SCP-999's presence was in that room, and Kirby could probably do the same thing as well. So, yeah. As well. So, basically, SCP-682, it says SCP-682 cannot be killed cannot be killed unless the universe is like it'll take something that is greater than the universe. And of course, Kirby was able to beat Void Termina as well. But can Kirby be? Of course, Kirby does not have a chance against the high order versal, because of course, similar to Darkseid, the SCP-682, the monster that is SCP-682, through his essence and existence exists outside of the universe. So yeah, Kirby is not gonna probably defeat. Kirby has no feats shown in the canon games that he's able to fight a being that's like that. I think fighting him will be similar to fighting Dark Matter. Dark Matter technically isn't mortal. You can't really get rid of Dark Matter, as it's basically the opposite of Kirby. Dark Matter is evil, and getting rid of something like Kirby will probably be able to defeat any avatar SCP-682 foes at it, because of course, in SCP-682, the virus dies that inhabit to cease. And of course, Kirby can probably just use his warp style, whereas of course, Kirby's warp style is faster than Whis. Kirby's warp style is faster than Whis, and that's basically it's because of course Kirby's warp style is able to go for at least 9 different dimensions really quickly, and Kirby can just send SCP-682 to another dimension and destroy that entire dimension instead of destroying the universe as well. Well, but yeah, anything that is any of the high outer versal, levels of SCP-682 Kirby, I don't think is beating SCP-682 in those categories. But I think the normal SCP-682, because of how Kirby basically is a being that defeats beings that are pure evil. Defeats beings that are very similar to SCP-682 in most games, like Void Termina, like Alphys, like Magawar, characters that, are around universal levels of points. And SCP-682, you know, can adapt to Kirby, but again, Kirby can copy any ability. Kirby is a being that can copy any ability. And Kirby can just seal away SCP-682 or something like that, and Kirby would win by default by sealing away SCP-682, as Kirby is able to seal away beings like Nightmare and stuff. And Nightmare is like a being that threatened the whole universe. Basically, yeah, characters that Kirby also sealed like Galactonite and stuff, characters that are like that. And yeah, Kirby also can, yeah. That's basically based off Kirby's War. Yeah, Kirby should be able to beat SCP-682 in its avatar form. That's no surprise because Kirby in the war can be anything that is basically evil. That is basically, kind of unfair, but that is explained in the games. Also, we're not using any of the Kirby right back at ya feats as well, which was used in Kirby vs. Majin Buu. They counted Kirby right back at ya as feats for Kirby, even though Kirby right back at ya is not canon to the games as well. But also Kirby can, heal himself and do all this stuff. He can copy abilities, which is very similar to, SCP-682 adapting. But Kirby, he can just copy something and have it and of course Kirby can lose it after being beat up a bunch of times as well. But Kirby can basically copy any ability, which is very similar to SCP adapting to it. So that means SCP-682 adapting to something is extremely similar to Kirby's copy abilities. Which, yeah. And the thing is, Kirby also has infinite stamina and power, as also explained by the games. Kirby also has infinite power and infinite stamina, which is also a problem for SCP-682, which means SCP-682 will be no different than any of the foes Kirby has fought in the games. Kirby, if you talk about, the avatar of SCP-682, not, of course, SCP-682, and even then, people say no, but yeah, Kirby has dealt with beings that are basically, similar to SCP-682, if you really think about it. For example, all the soul enemies in Kirby, if you really think about it, they're technically dead. Smock Soul, Vector Forgo, is an example of that. Vector Forgo is basically dead, but Kirby's able to actively, is able to interact with beings that are not even alive, or beings that are on a different plane of existence. And SCP-682's true form is on a different plane of existence, but SCP-682's true form is around Artiversal, which is extremely powerful as well. And I don't think Kirby's beating that. So yeah, Kirby can also summon helpers, friends, and stuff, but that wouldn't really matter because, it's just helpers, they would lose. But as a planet robot, Kirby is stated to have infinite power as well, can negate their ability as well. And was also able to beat Void Terminal, and of course, in the game, able to keep up with it. And also the warp style, which is capably flawlessly piloted controlled while reacting and dodging obstacles and projectiles as well. Chase the damper parts around the universe and quickly went to Nova somewhere point at the galaxy's end at the end of the universe. Using his own starship on his own as well, which also he was able to launch box from Moon to Nova as well. And Kirby can, as well. Kirby is not a weak character, as we all know. Kirby is not weak, but yeah, I don't think the Outerversal SCP-682 would lose to Kirby, but of course, if SCP-682 kept sending avatars, Kirby would defeat the avatars with relative ease. Kind of like defeating Magawar, kind of defeating, other foes, that was similar, Void Terminal, Alphys, and other characters that, can, create own dimensions, create their own realities. And also, let's not forget that Kirby also has his own pocket reality inside his own body, which basically means Kirby can just eat SCP, swallow SCP-682 after he beats SCP-682, and basically SCP-682 could destroy. Well, so he also kill Kirby as well, but yeah, he also has a stomach, his own stomach dimension as well, which again is confirmed by the games and games like Kirby, you know, Squeak Squad, where Kirby can basically take powers and use it for himself and store powers in his dimension as well. Kirby always has it, to store things as well. Despite not carrying them, he also has two cell phones and has a call to warp styles and as well. That's the stuff that Kirby has, and also Kirby can use anything to copy, you know, can use his copy abilities as well, you know. But yeah, even if Kirby is naive and stuff and can be tricked, something like SCP-682 wouldn't be no problem for Kirby if it sent the avatar form of to Kirby, because it's similar to being defeating many universe level threats like dark matter, Marks, and other characters. If Kirby wasn't pursuing down to defeat characters like Magor, Dark Matter, and all of its incarnations, and of course Marks, which can basically create a black hole out of nothing, or characters, like Void Terminator and Elfris, which could have probably taken over the universe if Kirby didn't exist. And also, let's not forget in Kirby's War, Kirby can also defeat, and the games as well, has been referred to as in the Kirby games, as Kirby is a universal force for good, and basically SB682 would be another dark matter like creature. Kirby would of course beat it already because, of course, Kirby, is basically by destiny supposed to be anything that is evil. And yeah, that's also another thing about the Kirby War. Yeah, basically if Kirby is defeating anything that is evil as well, which is in the Kirby War, which, wouldn't be too surprising as well, which means, yes, Kirby would win against any avatar form sent by SCP-62. But yeah, Kirby, as of now, doesn't have the feats to any outer forceful feats, which, again, Kirby does negate their ability and many of his abilities. So, Kirby could use some of his abilities that negates their ability, and of course use the War Kirby, was of course, and the War Kirby, which I can actually pull this up here. And yeah, here it is. Negative incarnation and positive Kirby is the good version. Here is the simplified version. But yeah, Kirby is always supposed to beat this side. And of course, the anomalies like Gooey and Galactonite as well. But yeah, Kirby is basically a character that in the Kirby series is able to beat, anything that is supposed to be evil and basically try to make it good. Within Kirby style allies, Kirby was able to use the befriend technique to befriend the Void Terminal at the end of the game. And basically, Kirby, as a being, is supposed to basically destroy all negativity and evil in the universe. Which, in the Kirby War, that is the reason why Kirby would likely, even if SCP-682 is out of also, would beat a being like SCP-682, but it wouldn't be through just killing it. Kirby would basically try to reason with SCP-682 and try to turn SCP-682 into the good by using the power of friendship. But basically, the battle against Void Terminal was mostly a negative being as well. Void also, other voids exist in dimensions, and sort of war they have made it basically possible for Zero for Dark Matter to one day return proper as well. Well, so yeah, Void, of course, there was a good half and there's an evil half. Basically, that's basically Kirby, and it's not Dark Matter Kirby, but the parent. It is basically the primordial force of nature, and it's basically subjected to positive and evil things. And of course, one is supposed to always triumph over the other. The positive energy is realistically supposed to always triumph over the, as well. So yeah. So yeah, in the Kirby universe, basically, Kirby can basically destroy anything that is supposed to be evil. And SB682 is not really, it's not good. That's basically it. So Kirby, if we're using the Kirby War to its truest word, SB682 would lose because Kirby's good, and because and SCP-682 is evil, and Kirby would always triumph over the evil SCP-682. Once again, a lot of the Kirby villain, he'll just be like any other Kirby villain. He'll become good at the end and realize that his whole thing is not, his whole being evil is not a good thing. And also, Void Termina is a being made of pure chaos and evil, whereas I think it's even more than a being like SCP-682. Which SCP-682 is evil, but Kirby is able to deal with beings that are far more evil and are far more destructive, like Void Terminal and Dark Matter and many of the Kirby games. Kirby's able to deal with all of these beings that would have probably eventually conquered the universe if Kirby didn't exist, which makes Kirby important for the Kirby universe. So these evil beings don't conquer the entire universe and everybody is enslaved by dark matter and by all these evil entities that are completely evil and need to be stopped. And that's basically the gist of it. So yeah, SB682, if we're taking the Kirby War into all seriousness, and Kirby War would probably ignore durability because of course Kirby, if you fit before that, would not be able to beat Void Terminator because of course he's only galaxy level. He only could beat for Void Terminator. But yeah, same thing on Majin Buu. Okay, the when that battle came out, people were like really angry that Kirby beat Majin Buu. But again, a being like Kid Buu is very similar to a being like Void Terminator, a being with no emotion, no positivity, a being that is just pure evil and unadulterated chaos. Kirby beat that being, which makes Kirby beat Kid Buu, which is even weaker than Void Termina. A being that is the destroyer of worlds is what Void Termina is called in the Kirby games. And SB682, the only problem with defeating SB682 is that it requires the whole universe for Kirby to kill him. And let's just say it's also the Avatar SB682. Yeah, Kirby, of course, defeats beings that are very similar to SV682, that are more chaotic, more evil, and of course more destructive in terms of feats than SV682. And actually, if you compare SCP-682 to your average Kirby villain, most of them basically want to take over the universe and want to conquer the universe for their own. Because SCP-682 is the same though as having to deal with the humans, experiment on it, not really doing much, and just insulting them. Meanwhile, Kirby's just fighting, being at the being that can basically destroy the universe or conquer the universe or destroy multiple universes at once. So yeah, I think Kirby easily takes the win in the battle against SCP-682 as well. So yeah, SCP-682, even with its adaptability, which is SCP-682's greatest feats as well, for just using the Avatar, the most well-known version of SCP-682, in war, I think SB682 would probably be able to beat Kirby if we're taking into account all the war of the SCP universe and the Kirby universe. Kirby's best feats do not compare to the outerversal feats of SB682 as well. But if we're just talking about the SB682 in its physical form and Kirby in its physical form, because Kirby was created from a non-physical being called Void, which can split into good and evil. And which Kirby is Void basically created by positivity. And also the whole Void thing also debunks that Kirby is a Star Warrior, because Kirby was created by Void. And Void basically created Kirby. So Kirby is basically Void, not a Star Warrior, which is in the anime war, not the game war. Which yeah, we're not using the anime war. We're using the game war, not using the manga war. There's a Kirby manga apparently as well. Yeah. But yeah, Kirby being the universal force of good as well. Kirby being the universal force of good as well. You know, being defeating beings like alphas who can basically create portals between universes. Cause the Forgotten Land is in a different universe, basically. Okay, the Forgotten Land is basically a different universal counterpart to let's never forget that Kirby defeated a being that can basically travel through universes. Elphys was a being that was basically able to travel through multiple universes, and Kirby was able to defeat that being. Okay, yeah, SP62, it can basically adapt to anything and is basically immune to any manipulations as well. But Kirby is also immune to a lot of stuff as well. Is immune, as well. Kirby can also copy anything, whereas negates anything that SCP-682 adapts to as well. SCP-682 can basically adapt to anything, but Kirby can copy anything, whereas that whole thing ends. But I think basically it'll just be a battle between good and evil. Good and evil, and Kirby, of course, would probably win out in that because Kirby is able to basically defeat basically anything that was evil in the Kirby universe. So yeah, this was a very long video, and yeah, if someone has sat through this, I congratulate you for saying through this long discussion. So who do you personally think would win in the battle between Kirby and Void Termina? Again, Kirby the deals of being similar to SCP-682 in most of the Kirby games. Beings that can basically manipulate reality, beings that can basically manipulate the body, beings that are basically considered a pure agent of chaos, like, Mox and Zero and Void Termina, beings that basically want to conquer the universe for themselves, like, of course, Magawar, beings, as well, and also beings like Style Dream, which was basically a computer that was going to enslave the whole universe as well, and basically was like, on this power, which also, let's not forget that, Kirby was also controlling the halberd as well in that battle, which means Kirby is similar to the mouthful mode, was basically controlling that whole thing. And yeah, Kirby beat Style Dream, which was basically on par with the other, was basically on par with Nova, which was able to grant any wish it wanted, and Kirby was able to defeat that. Which means Kirby, if had to fight Nova, he would probably win in that battle as well, which granted Mox like ultimate power as well. Let's not forget that Mox wished for ultimate power to conquer the universe, and Kirby beat Mox as well, and also beat Mox Soul, which was basically the dead form of Mox as well. Kirby beat beings that were basically like dead, and Kirby still beat them, as well. So if that's basically about this video, goodbye.